Yeah, I forget. Oh, damn, I'm always on the wrong side. I'm always on the wrong side, y'all. And hello, it's your girl, Mayday Mayhaim.
And this is just Bob Bowman.
See, I finally got it right. Like, we was back here about 15 minutes. I was all over here like, oh, no, it's this side, it's this side. We finally got it.
Yeah, just Bob Bowman. And that's Mayday Mayhem right there.
And that's just Bob Bowman right there. See, I got that. Hey, choreography paid off. And thank you for joining us on this Sunday. And this happens to fall on Christmas Eve. So,
Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree. Na, na,
na,
na.
na, na, Christmas tree. I ain't gonna get into it with it, but
man, I'm so thankful that this year I haven't heard a lot of Christmas songs because I haven't been out like that. So, ooh, I hate Christmas music, but you know, you can't help but you can't help but hear the Mariah Carey song. Like you're going to hear that every year, but other than that, I've been shielded from all that other Christmas music, so I'm happy.
You know, I just don't like how they bust straight in from October and go straight into Christmas. I'm like, did y'all forget about Thanksgiving? Like that damn turkey deserves some respect. Like, do y'all understand? You know, you've cooked the turkey before. They do turkeys bogus as hell. They cut their necks off, put their giblets in the bag, and then shove it up they butt and freeze their ass. And then I have to dig up in there and decompress. That is a job. Like, these turkeys deserve some respect. Give them something.
Well,
y'all just skip over Thanksgiving.
It all depends on how the turkey is cooked. Like me, if it's cooked like my two favorite types of turkeys, and I'm starting to get hungry even thinking about it, is like a jerk turkey.
Oh, okay.
Or a deep fried turkey. I've had both of them on Thanksgiving when I did celebrate it.
Now, I haven't had deep fried turkey.
Oh, it's good. I'm talking about whoo.
Now, that's one thing I've always wanted to try, but I've never had that.
Yeah, but myself, I look forward to the yams and the macaroni and cheese and the stuffing. Like those are my three favorite things as far as like Thanksgiving food. Especially when you I sometimes, and this might sound ghetto, but sometimes I like to mix the yams in with the macaroni
and cheese. Yeah. Mix it just a little bit. It's all going down the same way. I'm just saying, like, it's going the same way.
Yeah, because it's like sweet and salty, and
just and then with a little spicy too. Got the greens with some hot pepper and some vinegar on it, a little hot sauce. Oh my God, send you to heaven with a piece of cornbread. Cause see, I cooked my ham, my greens, my macaroni and cheese and spaghetti today. So all I have to do tomorrow is just cook my turkey and dressing. So
that sounds good. I would eat everything except for the ham.
Oh, we only eat pork like ham during, holidays, Easter, barbecuing holidays, it's not something that we eat all the time. So my baby, she's like, I love ham. I'm like, well, you can't have ham all the time like that. She was like, no, but I love it. I'm like, I'm glad you love it. Just pushed on. So I'm glad you love it, baby. Long as you like it, I love it. So go ahead. So, but yeah.
So how was your week?
Oh, my week has been very, very, very interesting, to say the least. I had food poisoning. Don't know how, but yeah, that happened. But I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. But it was a good week. I did have a show also this week. And speaking of shows, I would like to show you a pair of shoes that I wore to the show. Says you like a shoe head, a little sneaker head and stuff. You like, yeah, you. So these are my pair that I wore um this Thursday. They are like a suede. They're black and maroon. Um, the heel is not too high. It's a smaller heel, but it's not a super high heel. Um, the shoe is comfortable. It's made by who is it called? Me Too Shoes. They priced at about $60, about $60. But y'all know I am beauty on a budget. I ball on a budget. I only paid about maybe $20 for these shoes.
That's a good deal
Again,
for 20.
and after I finish wearing them, of course, like I always say, I take my shoes off, I wipe them off, and I put them back in their box where they belong, their respective box, and slide them back on in where they belong. That way they keep nice and clean and scratch free.
Hey, so what do you use to wipe your shoes off? I was just wondering.
It depends on what it is. Like usually once I get them in, like the boots, you spray them with that spray that's supposed to keep all that stuff off of that. I usually do that, or I usually just wipe it down with a wet towel.
Oh, okay.
It's usually just a wet towel. And I have had some shoes over the years that have I usually try to use a whatever type of color closest to it. Like this is a maroon towel, so I'll probably use like a maroon type towel, or something darker to wipe it off with.
Okay.
But again, usually when I come in, I take them, I wipe them off, and it's been a suede, it wasn't heavy rain, so it wasn't, damaged by mud or dirt or anything like that.
Okay.
So, as soon as I came here, swoop, swoop, wipe down, put them back in that box, throw them in the closet, and be like, all right, where are my kick around shoes? And those are the shoes that talk to you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them shoes that talk to you, that when you walk outside, take out the garbage, they think you homeless. They think you no. Those are the shoes I put back on. Like, kids, I'm home. So
Everybody got some talking shoes. I
you got
shoes.
everybody goes like, I ain't got no pair of shoes that talk to me. You's a damn lie. You got a pair of talking shoes. Those old shoes that you kick around the house, that you wear everywhere, that you don't care if they get messed up. You don't care if anything happens to them. They just shoes. You don't care.
Yeah, like I got my when I do projects around the house, shoes, talking shoes. Like it's like I got two pairs of them. Like one I use mainly for when I'm like doing housework, and then other is when I'm just doing everyday chores or whatever. But they can be switched simultaneously, so it doesn't matter. Like they both serve the same purpose.
Exactly, it serve the same purpose. It's not like I'm gonna go to the club with these shoes on. No, it's not like if I go out with my girls and we all got on our jogging attire on, would I wear these? No, of course not.
Right.
No, these again are like my gardening shoes, or if I'm working on a car in the garage, these are these shoes that I'm wearing, like you say, doing chores around the house. No, these are my beat up shoes, my kick around shoes.
Right. And since we talking about shoes, I might as well start off my week.
Come on, start it off.
And it made me think about that song by Destiny's Child, Bugaboo, when they was like, and so what? You bought a pair of shoes. I'm still happy about my shoes. See how big these shoes are? Oh, you can't see my face.
Cannot see his face, people.
But anyway.
I mean, he has a lot of mental intelligence.
Anyway, these are Jordan 1s. These are green and white and black. These were made to commemorate when Jordan scored 63 points against the Boston Celtics in his first playoff appearance. In a game, they lost the game, but he scored 63 points. So they made like this special type of shoe for him, the special color. Look at the bottom of it. It looks nice.
The whole sole is green also.
Yeah. As far as price,
well, I have to tell a price for my, my budget spenders out there that might want to grab those shoes. They're not that expensive. You can get you a pair. I will
Yeah,
share where I got it from.
yeah, like these shoes are not budget shoes, at least
Hmm.
not right now.
No.
Because they're like these are a hot pair of shoes. These are some shoes that a lot of people wanted to get. I got them
Hmm.
at Foot Locker. They're not as popular as the 11s that I showed you the last time we
Last
did.
week.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, like those shoes. I spent a pretty penny on.
A
Like
grip.
these shoes, I spent a lot on, but not as much as the 11s.
But
Like
it's worth it.
yeah, these I
It's something
spent.
you wanted.
Yeah, these I spent close to 200.
Okay, that's not bad. But it's
The
something that you wanted and it's
yeah,
going to be well taken care of, and it brings back happy memories for you. So
and
again,
yeah, like these shoes, I actually had a pair of these before. About I bought them back in 2012, I believe, or 2011, 2011, 20. Actually, no, even before then. I had to go back. 2010 is when I bought them.
okay.
The last pair that I had that were exactly like these, and I had them until about 2015, and I kept them in good condition. I kept them clean,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
they still had some wear and tear on them. And it was a guy that I knew that needed a pair of shoes, and me being the person that I was at the time, I gave them to him. But then it's
Hmm.
like immediately after I gave them to him, I'm like, man, I really gonna miss those shoes. I want a pair of them, and it's hard to find these actual color, this actual color scheme. Like they make the Jordan ones in a whole bunch of colors, but the green, black, and white ones is real hard to find those.
And
So
especially you got them around Christmas time too. So
yeah, yeah, and I
I'm
was
shocked at that color around this time that you would find that.
yeah, and like because I was planning on buying some white Ewans, and I told you
Okay.
that last time, but I wanted these way more than the white Ewans, and like it, yeah, it was like I wanted these more than the white Ewans, and I got these, and it took away that desire for the Ewans away.
You're like, I can get those later. I get those next time.
I
I get
don't
you'll
even
be
know.
right back. I get them next time.
Yeah,
I get them next time.
yeah, but right now I got like 13 pairs of sneakers, so I think that at this point, before it gets out of hand, I need
Before
to
it
take
becomes before it becomes an addiction. See, like I
right.
have a shoe and purse addiction before it becomes an addiction. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and plus I gotta buy some shirts that go along with these shoes because I don't have any green shirts. So I
And
got
when
for that. Go
when
ahead.
I saw those, I'm like, ooh, I got some green bubblegum shoes. I have some green bubblegum heels. That's like the platform heels that are green with sparkles. And I'm like, if I would have known it was green, I would have brought down my green bubblegum shoes.
Okay.
But again, yeah,
Yeah,
those are some nice shoes. And it's like a gift to yourself for the end of the year. It's an
right.
end of the year gift to yourself.
Yeah, and this week, other than that, I just been working, going to the gym. I
Mm-hmm.
actually like I'm starting to see a very small change, not a huge change, but a very
Mm-hmm.
small change in my physique.
Mm-hmm.
It took a long time for this change to actually happen. So it's like now that I'm actually seeing a change, I'm like, hey, this is cool. Especially since I'm 42 years old, it's very hard to like get your body to cooperate after a certain age.
Absolutely. I totally agree because I too started, again, exercising, and when I got off that treadmill and lifting them little weights that they gave me, I said, "Sir, y'all trying to kill me?" He said, "No, you're doing well." But as I kept going, I felt better and better, and my body felt like somebody beat me with a stick like the first 4 5 days. Not gonna lie, like I got hit by a Mack truck, but other than that, it's also good therapeutic for my bones and my muscles because, like I said, I have fibromyalgia. I'm supposed to exercise and keep my body going. And when we get to a certain age, it gets harder to lose the weight and tone up and keep the weight off. Like I've been doing good for the past, I'll say 8 months with keeping the weight down and tapered and keeping it off. So
Right.
I'm
And
fine with that.
yeah, and that's where I'm at too, because like I said before, I have a disability, so I have to stay mobile.
Right. I understand.
Yeah, and then I look at, a celebrity, and I don't want to, throw shade on him, but Kanye West, I saw how he looks recently, and like he done blew up. Like he's legitimately a fat guy, you
Uh-huh.
know. and I'm like, and I know that it was an issue with him because he used to get liposuction to kind of keep his weight down and help him with that. And so now he's at that point where he's like, screw it, I ain't even getting liposuction. If I'm gonna be fat, I'm gonna be fat. So
But
good.
was that maybe a Kardashian thing for their image, for him to look good for them? And now he's with what's her name? Bianca Sensory.
I don't know her
Her
name.
name is Sensory Overload. I remember he made a song about her. So he's with his new wife, maybe, you know, those appearances are not important anymore. Because again, when you get to a certain age, it's really not important.
Right. And that kind of segues into what we are going to discuss. And
Mm-hmm.
this is about personal appearance, attraction, and how that plays a part in dating and the social hierarchy in society.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like this one. I want to be 100% honest,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that I want to put a disclaimer out here
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not going to intentionally hurt people's feelings, but some of the things that I say is going to hurt some people's feelings.
And I'm going to also say, if you come into the chat, I will not block you. If you have any questions or any comments, long as they're not disrespectful, I will not. I will not block you. If you have anything to counter inside the comments, it's have at it. But long as we're respectful of each other,
Right.
please go.
And before I get started on everything, I want to put the mirror on myself first
Mm-hmm.
to let everybody know that I understand that sometimes it can be hard because we talked about dating and how hard it can be,
Mm-hmm.
and how both of us individually have like some difficulties with dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to ask myself like some real hard questions like, what is it about me that could possibly turn the women that I like off? And
Mm-hmm.
I think about societal standards. Like, for one, I was 5'9" at one point, but because I have a disability and it shrunk my spine a little bit, so I'm 5'8" at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same here.
I'm 5'8". Um, I have a disability that affects my lower back and legs, so I can't really move around like how I used to. I'm 42 years old, and me being 42 years old, to some people that's being old as hell. Even though,
Absolutely.
even though that isn't really old as hell, but
No.
in today's society, that's considered old as hell. You 42, you old as hell. Like
Yeah.
old
They
as
say
hell.
right. They say that you wrinkly like ball sack or something. I don't see it. But they say when you get 40s, you start to get men get wrinkly. This is what men think.
Right. And so
So
I had,
some
like,
men, disclaimer.
yeah, yeah, like it's some men that like I see men that's at my age group that look way older than me, and then I see
Mm-hmm.
some men that's younger than me that look way older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's all about perception, and but at the same time, like when I tell people my age that I'm 42, they be like, wow, I can't believe it, because I look younger than my actual age, but when they know that I'm that age, they treat me like I'm an old man, So I just
Mm-hmm.
learned how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I understand that in the black community, we have this huge issue with colorism, which we've spoke about. And
Yes.
for men, if you're as light as I am, it can be an issue in dating because you have women that'll be like, oh, he light skinned, he might be sensitive and all this. And I'm not saying all, I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about what I've dealt with. They
Wow, I've never heard that one.
they're like, oh, he acts so light skinned. And then the fact that I'm this light, however, I'm not a mixed person. Like I'm not I don't have a white parent or anything like that. I have two black parents, but some people look at me and think that I'm mixed just because of how light I am. But
Mm-hmm.
people that are actually mixed, they look at me like, oh, like he trying to look like one of us, or think that he's on the same level as us. And I don't have like the wavy hair and the waves and the nice beard. Like when my beard grows out, it's real coarse and it's patchy. So I have
Mm-hmm.
to keep it, low, because
Mm-hmm.
if I try to grow it out long, it's gonna look ridiculous. I look like Scarecrow or something by the face.
No.
Yeah, being
No.
honest. And then I
Okay.
look at, on top of me having, like not being that tall, like I'm not short, but I'm not that tall. And I look at the size of my head. Like
What?
size of my head is pretty big. You see, like if you get the side of it, you can see how big my head can be. And then I got like a forehead, and I got a receding hairline with a big forehead. As you can see, the receding hairline right here and how far it's starting to go back. I deal with that. Hold on, and then let me show you the back of my head.
No, we're not doing this. No.
Yeah, you see that?
Yes.
I got the Oscar Mayer Franks in the back of my head.
No.
Yes, I do. So
No.
I have the Oscar Mayer Franks in the back of my head. Something that I can't help because
Right.
it's part of what's like on my mother's side of the family. They have this issue, and it's not just me. The women on the side of the family have the same issue. However, they can cover theirs up with hair. Me, I can't cover up my Franks. I've tried to grow a fro. I can't grow a fro because I got a receding hairline.
Oh my God. You can't win for losing.
Hold on.
That's but you're pointing out all these quote unquote flaws that you see.
Oh, hold on. Like, let me get my point across. Now, I have a cousin who has like the same issue, but it's like on the top of his head where he got like the rolls that go like this. You remember when
Oh.
Scottie Pippen shaved his head bald when he was playing for the Bulls, and he had that little,
And
thing.
the love it went
Yeah,
across like little
yeah,
mountains across
yeah,
there.
yeah. Like I got a cousin that got that. However, he doesn't have a receding hairline, so he covers his up where you can't tell, but only family members know that he got that going on. you know, I got a friend that got the same thing. That's actually a next door neighbor of mine, but he wear cornrows, so he hides his.
Hides it.
So I'm not able to hide it. I have to, just deal with it how it looks. And then I also deal with having gynecomastia, if you know what that is. That's when you have like, okay, like I work out, but I still
Oh, okay.
have, they call it the man boobs. And I do
Okay.
push-ups, I do bench presses. I was at one point, I was in really good shape. Like I used to do capoeira, which is Brazilian martial arts, and I
Yeah.
got down to like 175, where I was like in really good shape. I could walk on my hands and everything. I still had this issue, so
Yeah.
it's something that you can't really do anything about unless you get surgery for it.
Right.
Sometimes some people are able to figure out how to deal with it and how to build their muscles up to the
Muscle
point
up
where
to
you can't.
tone that muscle
Yeah,
up.
right. I've done everything I could to tone that muscle up, and it hasn't worked. So it's something that I have to deal with. And then on top of that, I think about you know, like charisma. Like some people
Mhm.
have charisma, and it's something that you can't teach. Either you have it or you don't. You know,
Right. Absolutely.
and there's some people that I see that because you know they have this charisma, they can overcome any type of flaws, physical flaws that might be perceived on the outside. But then if you don't have that charisma, it's harder for you to overcome that. Or if you don't have the mouthpiece, the game, as they say, like you don't know how to talk in a way that is arousing to the opposite sex. So,
Mhm.
or if you like me, I grew up like not, like I had a problem with my speech. and I had to work real hard to overcome that. I'm way better now than what I was when I was younger, but it used to be hard for me to really get the words out and express myself and say what it is that I wanted to say. And so I still deal with that inside my mind,
Right.
so I have that going on. So I point at all these other insecurities as far as also being disabled, and as far as like, and I'm not saying all women, I'm saying many of them are looking for high earners, like six-figure salaries, and they got the best clothes, the best cologne, that grooms very well. And I've worked on myself over the past 2 years because I fit like after I got divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another thing I was gonna mention. I'm also divorced, but like I worked on myself real good to where I have a nice wardrobe. I have nice shoes. I keep myself well groomed. I smell good. Like I know I smell good. Like I take showers in the best of soaps. I use deodorants that make me smell good. Like when I go out in public and I present myself, and when I started doing these things, the first people that I noticed were like my real close friends. They were always like complimenting me on how good I smelled once I made these changes. So I knew I was on the right direction. Like
Mm-hmm.
I save money. I make sure I have enough money where I can buy nice things like this and go on trips and things like this. And, you know, but I understand that even though I'm improving myself, some people will never appreciate what it is that I've done to improve myself because I'm not falling in line with the social hierarchy that was put in place for me. Now, what
Okay.
I mean by that is that they have been able to point out the same flaws that I've shown you
Mm-hmm.
about me and made a determination on this guy only deserves to be with a certain type of woman. And if he don't get
Mm.
a certain type of woman, we're gonna make it even harder for him in the dating circuit because we're gonna warn everybody about him. Either we gonna spill all his secrets, or we gonna make up stuff about him just to make him look even worse. And I've dealt with that
Mm-hmm.
because I've had guys say, "Oh, because you got those Oscar Mayer roles and Franks in the back of your head, you supposed to be happy being with this woman that's 300 something pounds." Yeah,
No, if that's not what makes you happy, why are you with someone that makes you unhappy? Because that's not going to do anything but cause more friction, and somebody will end up getting hurt. Somebody will either get cheated on, or somebody will end up getting left. Like, why would you be with somebody that you're not physically attracted to?
right. I understand that, but you have individuals that have this mindset.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then you have went like, and then I've dealt with women that would get the guys that have that mindset, and they would try to get them to convince me to get with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they
Like, hook me
wanted
up.
me. Yeah, they wanted me, but they didn't want to deal with that rejection. So they put a buffer between that rejection to like put extra pressure on me to say yes to what it is that they wanted. And it used to work on me because when I was younger, I wanted to feel like I was accepted, like I was one of the cool guys. So I went along with it, not knowing that regardless of me going along with that or not, I wasn't going to be respected in the way that I was looking to be respected,
Right.
you know. And I understand that at 42, at my age, and being divorced and not being married at this time, that it's a lot of people that won't look at me like I could be they'll look at me like something is wrong with me, even though there isn't, like because I'm not going along with societal standards. And that's something that just happens in life, like because they'll look at me, they say, well, he's not a bad looking guy, even though he got this and this and this going on. So why don't he just, why can't he get a woman, or what is he hiding? Because it's like you have people that say that a man at my age with no children or isn't in a serious relationship, like either he's in the closet,
Mm-mm.
or he's selfish, or
Mm-mm.
he doesn't have himself together, or he just an incel or a lame or all these things, especially if you're not one of these guys that's out here, being a gang banger and thugging and stuff like that. But my counter to that is that I've known people that I went to high school with. I know more than one that I went to high school with that have children that have come out as being gay men. So having children doesn't dictate whether or not a person is gay or not.
Absolutely doesn't.
However, you have individuals that are used that to shame a person into falling in line to the expectations that they have for that person, instead of letting that person be who it is that they are honestly, and being the individual that they are. And I've had to deal with this with certain groups and organizations that I was a part of. And it was like, as soon as they saw that I wasn't towing the line of what they wanted, they've tried to make me feel as uncomfortable as possible, to the point to where I just had to leave them alone. And even though they don't want, and even though they don't want to hold any accountability for that, and I understand, because they have an image that they're trying to portray, they will still look at it like, oh, he just don't want to face reality of what's going on with his life. You know what I'm saying? And so,
but the piggyback on the, I'm sorry, but the piggyback with, I know so many women and men that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s that do not have children because they honestly too busy making their money or working, and they just never had children.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with that.
But in the grand scheme of society, you have a lot of individuals that will make a person feel bad because they haven't done certain things. You have people that get on podcasts like, it's a gentleman by the name of Tony Gaskins. And he said out of his mouth that if it's a man that's a certain age that isn't married, he doesn't respect that man. And I'm like,
what
are you? Yeah. Like, he said he doesn't respect men at a certain age that's not married.
What if you just never found the right woman and you just don't want to settle for any old damn thing, and you don't want to procreate with any old damn thing, and you really want your seed to be in something that's gonna be there for life? And what?
Well, to people like him, and that's why I said I've had to learn how to get out of my feelings and let these people affect me in the way that they used to, because people like him is like, oh, you're just complaining and you're not doing what it is that you're supposed to do according to the Bible, because he a Bible thumper as well. So he's like, whatever is around you, and
you're
it doesn't matter.
For it.
Yeah. He's one of them type of guys. Even though he knows he has an advantage, even though he's married at this time, but he knew that before he got married, he had an advantage because he was a very attractive man to the women, and he had light colored eyes, and he knew he had that advantage, and he had some charisma about him, and he has money. So he has an advantage, but he's looking at the ones without the advantage and like looking at them like, oh, I did it, why can't you? He had one of them type of attitudes. And you have that going on. You have women, and I'm going to use a comedian as an example, like Leslie Jones. She attacked men that make podcasts talking about how bad the dating market is, and the guys that travel and call themselves passport bros. And she said that the reason why these men are making all these videos and doing things like that is because they don't know how to fuck. Yeah, she said that. And in my opinion, the only reason why she would say something like that is because she cannot find a person that knows how to fuck her properly.
Well, damn.
And that's just
made me choke on my coffee.
And that's just me being honest with my opinion. And she got a lot of money. She got a lot more status than me, but I have to defend myself in the position that I'm in. And I can look at her and I can say, I don't care how much money that she has. I personally wouldn't want to fuck somebody like Leslie Jones. she can offer me $100,000. I might consider $100,000. I'm not gonna lie, but it would take a lot of money for me to consider fucking somebody like Leslie Jones
Why?
because I'm not attracted to her.
You're not attracted to her.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
but she attacks men who are she says that she doesn't want, who aren't attracted to her. You
Okay.
know, so why does she care about these men if she's not attracted to them and they're not attracted to her? It's up to her to figure out who's attracted to her and focus her attention on those men.
Maybe the men that's attracted to her, she ain't attracted to them.
Exactly. But that's a her problem. Just like it's a me problem if the women that I'm attracted to ain't attracted to me, and I'm only getting women that's unattractive to me that's attracted to me. I have to figure out what I can do about it. It's up to
I
me.
understand what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah. But instead of having that type of attitude where it's a her problem, she wants to lash out at people that have nothing to do with her, that had nothing to say about her, because she's not attractive to those men. And those men have the right to travel, go to different countries, and figure out what's best for them individually,
Okay.
you know? But you have a lot of people that's trying to hold up a dying community, and we know that the community is dying just so they could keep the perpetual bullshit that's been going on. And we know that it's a failed system. If it's a failed system, why are you trying to keep it going on? You want to create more failures?
Yeah.
And
More
that's one of
failures, more
yeah,
chaos, more
yeah,
problems. Yeah.
yeah. And I talked to you about this earlier. Like I saw an example of this where it was a woman that was on this episode of My 600 Pound Life.
Yeah.
And
We were talking about that.
yeah, she was about 700 pounds, could barely move. She had two children, right? And it was a guy that used to come and help her with her two children to take them to school and bring them back from school. And the son was actually his son. Like she had a son with this man that was helping her with him and her other daughter. And I made a comment on social media said, "Why isn't he with her?" And he knows that she's struggling like this. He's supposed to be with her, and they supposed to be
Exactly.
a family. And then this person's like, "Oh, you don't know what they going through, and how do you know that? You know, he just just dumped off this on her, and he's not taking care of his responsibilities." And then somebody after me said that, "Oh, I follow her on social media, and she had another child with him." And she was mad with him because he was staying with another woman. And then I'm like,
Hmm.
this is what I'm talking about. The man obviously didn't want to be with her.
Yes.
She's in poor health conditions because of her weight, but he's
Yes.
still dropping off raw dick to her. Not
Yes.
only dropping off raw dick to her, he's nutting inside of her. And this is more than once that he's done this.
Unprotected.
Yeah.
So it's
So he
unprotected. So to the point to you done had two kids and you're not there helping her take care of these kids. And then she's to her ability to where her weight has made her disabled and you just walked off and left and dipped out. So yeah, that's wild as hell.
right. That's irresponsibility, but this is what's going on in the community. You have a bunch of people procreating with people that they do not want to be with.
Yes. And it's usually done for out of spite, to try to, oh, if I have a baby by him or if I have a baby by her, we can stay together. Or it's somebody's getting something out of it versus what it's supposed to be, a union where we're gonna have this baby, we're gonna take care of this baby, and we're gonna stay together and raise this child and do it like it's supposed to be done with both parents.
Yeah, and then it also shows low self-esteem and
Yeah.
to allow that to happen. Like this person thinks so lowly of themselves that they allow a man that they know that don't want to be with them in a family structure to fuck them raw and to drop his nut off in her and to procreate with this man. I mean, it, like I know that it might piss people off me describing it like this, but it's the truth. It's the honest truth. And and I blame both of them. I blame the 700-pound woman, and I blame that.
Yeah, because she allowed him to, women and men, when we come into these relationships, a person will do what you allow them to do.
Right.
A person can only take so much. I'm only going to allow you to do so much to me. Time say, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out. Screw you. I'm going home. I'm out, and be done and gone with it. Again, it's irresponsible for both of them. And for her, again, it's low self-esteem. Look, I'm 700 pounds. This the only dude that's dropping pipe in me. But then you have a lot of men that like women that are 6, 7, 800 pounds. And if they women lose a 1 pound, they leaving.
Right.
But
And
again,
go ahead.
but in this situation right here, he's obviously using her probably for her resources. Probably for a place to stay when the other chick don't want to be bothered with him. Since they ain't had another baby, you can't say you wasn't messing with her because a baby popped out of that. It just wasn't sitting there on slow mode for 8, 9 years. No, that baby was in there for 9 months.
Right.
So again, we allow people to do things to us so much till we say enough is enough. Just like when you talk about your situation, when people try to tell you what to do, who you need to be talking to, and you need to talk to her. Now, I don't want to talk to her. I ain't even attracted to her. Allowing people to do things that you don't want to do. And in the end, you're going to be bitter behind it. You're going to be mad, angry. You're going to hold resentment towards that person because this is not what you want.
Right. And I wanted to also be honest because I've spoken up about him. I have to be honest about my personal situation. Like, I've dated women that were very attractive,
Mm-hmm.
and I allowed them to treat me like crap for a while because I'm like, man, this woman is attractive. Like, I can be out, be seen with her, and it make me feel good about myself that I'm not with somebody that I'm not attracted to. So I allowed myself to get treated like crap by a nice looking woman. And the reason why she was treating me like crap because she could get away with it because she knew,
Because of how she looked.
yeah, because of how she looked, and she
Mm-hmm.
already automatically thought she was better than me, so she didn't have to respect me in a way that I deserve to be treated with respect. And so I had to learn that it ain't all about looks. Even
No.
though looks are important, it's all about how that person treats you to show that they actually care about you and that they actually appreciate you and that they look at you as being somebody valuable. That's a part of attraction as well, because some people, and this is unfortunate, is some people will never look at you the way that you look at yourself. They either
Mm-hmm.
going to put you in one or two categories. Either you're going to be a useless eater or you're going to be a useful idiot. And you
Mm.
have to ask yourself, how do you want to be perceived by that person that doesn't want to be around you or doesn't respect you? Do you want to be perceived as a useful idiot or a useless eater? Me, I'd rather be a useless eater to that person and try to get as far away from that person as possible.
Okay.
Because me wasting my time helping them out and helping them build themselves up, I'm being an idiot because they don't respect or appreciate what it is that I'm doing for them. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a tough thing to really like process and to really deal with and to really understand. And I also had to look at situations where I'd be like, why is this woman that's attractive? She's with this guy that's obviously not doing half of what it is that I'm doing with my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to really think about it. Like, that's what she chose. She chose to be with a dirtbag instead of being with somebody that could actually be responsible, be somebody that could be a help to her, that
Yeah.
had value within himself. They want, like, some women don't want a man that has value within himself because they have
Mm-hmm.
to carry themselves in a certain way, and vice versa. There's men that don't
Absolutely.
want women. They want women with low self-esteem so they can steamroll all over that person. And
Mm-hmm.
if that woman has any type of self-esteem, they're not going to want to be with her because they like, oh, she thinks she too good and all this and all that. When in actuality, she's just holding herself to a certain standard. And if you don't
Absolutely.
meet it, you don't meet it. Same thing with the men. If you don't meet that man's standard, you just don't meet it. And I look at situations like, like how women say that men has to earn a certain thing and do this and do that. However, you have men that get into situations with women where the woman is obviously making way more money, like a Nicki Minaj.
Oh
She,
my
she
God.
married she married her husband. They got a child together.
Mm-hmm. Mr.
It's
Petty.
obvious, huh?
Mr. Pettis.
Yeah, it's obvious he doesn't have any money because he's a ex-con, right? But he's the woman that she wanted. He's the man that she wanted. I'm
Right.
sorry. He's the man that she
Man,
wanted. So
everybody was so shocked. Like, of all the people you could have got, you got him.
right, but it's like he's easily controllable
Yeah,
because of
because
the
of her
because
money.
yeah, and she's had history with him, so it's like she's comfortable with him. So she doesn't care about spending bread on him because she knows who he is. She knows everything about him. She's felt him sexually. So
And
she
they've didn't they have a relationship like way before?
yeah, before she got famous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she had a connection with him already. Now,
Right.
there was a lot of people that criticized her for that. It was one lady by the name of Ruby Rose that did an interview where she was like, well, yeah, I respect Nicki Minaj, but I couldn't see myself doing something like that for myself. But I was thinking to myself, like, Ruby Rose only has $2 million. Nicki
Yeah.
Minaj has hundreds of millions of dollars. So do you think that Nicki Minaj with her hundreds of millions of dollars care about what $2 million Ruby Rose gotta say?
No, no.
Right. So unfortunately,
But you have to understand those are the type of women that like those type of men because that's the type of lifestyle they live. Like my mother told me, it's somebody for everybody. And also, the old saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Again, you can be with a person for their looks, you can be with a person for their intelligence, you can be with a person for their money, you can be with a person for their um it's a multitude of things you can be with a person with other than looks. It could be something that outshines that looks that be like, oh my God, I don't care if he has that pack of hot dogs in the back of his neck. I'm fucking in love with Bob Bowman. I don't give a damn. That's gonna be my baby daddy. Like they don't care. Who cares if he has a receding hairline? Oh my God, I love men with bald head. Like again, it's women out there. Again, my flaws, as you were talking before, again, my flaws, I have a disability. I have a plating 4 screws in my neck. A lot of people see that as a disability in itself, which is not. I can do everything that everybody else can do. It doesn't stop me from doing anything. Like you said, you was taller, and then again, I had a spinal injury where it made me shorter. I used to be 5'5", almost 5'6". Now I'm only 5'4", so. And again, I'm a single parent. In the dating scene, a lot of it's not dating a woman with kids again is frowned on. It's kind of frowned on. I'm seeing that more and more. It's like frowned on, like, oh my God, you have children? Like, yes, I have fucking kids. Like, sir, damn, what? So, and these are coming from men that also have children. So this is not coming from, again, this is coming from men that also have children. That's like, damn, you got kids. But ain't you got kids too? Yeah, I got about 7 kids by 8 different women. And you talking shit about me? Sir, get away from me, sir. Thank you. And again, you know, my flaws is I work a lot. I'm too dedicated to my children. I'm so dedicated to a fault. So I get a lot. They can't believe we can't believe you're single. Well, I am, Well, why? Because I'm dedicated to my kids, trying to do what I need to do. Like you say, travel and everything else, my career and my kids. If someone that's on that same path comes along, I'm down with it. If not, it is what it is.
Right. I get you. And one thing that I've had to deal with that was kind of tough is that I've had people that separated themselves from me because of my situation. And I had to understand the reasons of why. Because one thing about men is that we are, even though it's not something that we can help, we are seen as somewhat dangerous, even if we don't do anything to anybody. Like there's always this cloud on us, especially black men.
Yeah.
Like we are potentially dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like I said, I'm 42 with no children, so they like, what if this guy?
Where's his red signs? Why so many red flags? Why does he
Yeah,
have
like
children?
okay, like they'll look at me and be like, well, I can't really have him around my family because what if he, tries something with one of my daughters? Or what if he tries something with my wife? Or what if he tries something with my girlfriend? Or what if he's not attracted to women, period, and he actually likes me? Like you have all these different questions and assumptions that go into people's heads. And so
Well,
when individuals have these assumptions about you, then you have to be more understanding of like the reasons of why they won't be more willing to have you around. Because say for instance, like you have a 22-year-old daughter, right?
yeah. I was 22 and a 20, 14 and 8.
Okay. Now I'm 42. I'm the
Mm-hmm.
same age. Well, I'm a month older than you.
Right, because I'll be 42 at December 31st, y'all.
Right. So say for instance, I was to come around and then I meet your 22-year-old daughter, and to me, I'm like, man, she bad as hell. Like, man, I would want to date her like right now. And she probably find me attractive at the same time. So we both feeling each other. I'm flirting with her, she's flirting with me, and I'm like, man, I want to date your daughter.
I'm gonna get water in my spray back. Get your ass back. Get the fuck back.
But you see what I mean.
But that's because you're 22 years older. Well, you're 20 years older than my child. So I'll be like, what? Why do you want my daughter? What would you want my daughter's hand in marriage for, sir? It's like, why are you such an older man want to be with a 22-year-old? Because see, I know these 22-year-olds, they ain't like our normal 22-year-olds. They be out here twerking and doing all types of the stuff. They ain't trying to be held down with no babies. They ain't trying to do none of that. They don't want to be piled up in no house. They want to be at the club. They want to party. They want to kick it.
Okay,
So
but
my question would be, whoa, why can't you find a woman at least 30? Why you want this 22-year-old?
but what if she's different? What if she actually does want to settle down and be with somebody serious?
I would advise her. I can't tell her what to do because it's her life, but I would advise her. I would prefer you to get someone maybe more around your age, and I would have that conversation with her. Be like, look, I would prefer you have someone with your own age so that you can make mistakes together versus, somebody might pull you through some stuff. Not saying you would, I'm saying versus somebody that might pull you through some shit that you don't want to go through. I would say weigh your odds. Now, if she says, no, mom, I'm in love with him. I want him. I must be with him. What can I do? She's 21. She's over the age. She's 21.
Well, I
She's
thought
way over. That's what I'm saying. She's over 21.
yeah.
I said that's why she's over 21. She's so legal she can buy alcohol.
Right.
So
Exactly.
again, she's 22. What can I do? Can I voice my opinion about it? Yes. But in the end, she's 22. She's old enough to buy alcohol and squares. So if this is the decision that she wants to make, if she makes a mistake, of course, I'm going to be her mother and stand behind her 100% and, back her up if anything should happen. But if this is the plan that she chooses to go on, I can't do nothing but respect and tell her, well, you know what? I don't like it, but I'm just going to stay out of it. Just stay away from it and still have my little squirt bottle. It's a squirt bottle, y'all. But see, I have a different type of you take care of if she come here with one hair look like it's been pulled off the top of her head, we got a problem. We have a problem. So
but sometimes attraction happens like that.
And if it happens like that, it happens.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Do.
Because maybe my soulmate is 22 years old.
That might be. It might be. It may be. Again, I can honestly say 22 is better than an 18-year-old. Right. 22 is better than a 19-year-old. Again, you legal, you old enough to buy alcohol. You can go into a bar. So again, it's different circumstances and it's a whole different mindset. And so again, I would say why I don't like it and why I have my opinions about it. But then after that, what can I do? She is literally grown.
Right. I get what you're saying. But, it is still frowned upon as we.
Oh, well, yeah. I would prefer you to be with a 22-year-old versus a 18, 19.
Right. And because I have to be honest. It's like, because I've had, because you said some people get with people that they don't like because they have,
ulterior motives.
Yeah. Because it's like this. Like I had, and I talked about this before. There was a woman that had 4 children with multiple men. Right.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that, right?
And she was morbidly obese as well. And we kind of knew each other since high school. Like I wasn't really friends with her, but it was like one of the things where we knew of each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And,
right.
And she was looking for somebody to help her out because she recently, not too long ago, got her own house.
Okay.
And she was looking for some support in her transition. And I know this, but she didn't come out up front and forward with me about it. She was looking for me to be with her seriously so she can get all this stuff done and
for the free.
Yeah. And I'm like, I wasn't attracted to her at all, period. So I wasn't, so I wasn't going to do it, but it was like, oh, this guy, he's supposed to be, helping the community out. Because at the time I was doing a lot of volunteering in the community, passing out school supplies, doing barbecues and things of that nature. Like I was out and about in the community doing a lot of volunteer work. And so they well, if you're doing all this for children that you don't know, you might as well do this for some children, for somebody that you know, and do it on a permanent basis. And that's the type of attitude that individuals have. It's like they say,
is that a way for you to propose to me, ma'am? Are you proposing to me like this? That's not cute.
Yeah, so it's like you have individuals that be like, why is this person, helping all these children out and they not in a relationship? Like what are their ulterior motives? You know, are they just being kiss asses to suck up to try to build their reputations up within the community, or do they actually care about the community and will actually do something that is needed within the community, like being a stepdaddy? And you
Yeah.
have individuals that think like that. And since I didn't allow myself to be put on the stake for this person,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, oh, this person is just a kiss ass, and I was disregarded. And one thing that it helped me with understanding is because I gave my time and energy out of the kindness of my
Your
heart.
heart that you didn't have to do.
And I spent money, even though I was struggling financially doing all this stuff. And then once I saw that it wasn't appreciated, I stopped doing that stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
started doing it for myself, which is why I have a nice shoe collection now, which is
Hmm.
why I have savings in the bank while I'm going on vacations and trips. And it's not that I hate, and one thing that I want to say, and this is something that's been said, like, oh, because you don't want to date a certain type of woman, you must hate those women. No, I don't, because I have those type of women in my family. And and if I was to hate those type of women, I would have to hate my family members, and some of them I'm really close to. I'm real close to. Some of them, it's like I have an aunt, and I'm not gonna put her on blast, but she falls into that category. But I look at her like a second mother, and I've told
Mm-hmm.
her that before. So it did hurt my feelings when
Mm-hmm.
that was put on me and I was accused of that. But then at the same time, I had to hold myself accountable because I allowed them to hurt my feelings. And I had to look at all the reasons of why they thought that this was a good idea for me as a person. And I had to look at all my flaws, and I had to say to myself, like, damn, I understand why they did what they did, but at the same token, I still have to do what's best for me. And that was a very hard thing for me to do, and a very hard thing for me to realize. And I had
Mm-hmm.
to leave a lot of people behind in my life because I came to that realization. And I knew that regardless of how I really felt, it wasn't going to be looked at, it wasn't going to be looked in that way by those people. I was always going to be the enemy because I didn't do what it is that they wanted me to do.
Right.
And that hurt my feelings. It took me years to get over that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm finally over it, like to the point to where I can understand it. Like, I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to say that the hurt just went away. The hurt is still there, but I
Mm-hmm.
understand why. And then I understand that in this life, for men especially, it's always going to be competitive.
Yeah.
You know, and
And
so
with women too. It's always going to be competitive for us too.
yeah, and so it's either I jump in the competition and I compete, or I do what it is that I need to do to make sure that I stay out of the way and let the competitors compete while I'm on the outside of that. And
Mm-hmm.
at this point in my life, I'm on the outside of that. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not competing for anybody. Like, if a woman
Absolutely.
wants to be with me and I want to be with her and it's a mutual thing, we can create a bond there. But other than
Yep.
that, it's not gonna happen.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
And then I like, cause I understand, and I could go in on myself even more. Like, I could talk about things that a
Mm-mm.
lot of people don't want to touch, and I'm gonna say what it is that I'm gonna say. And I was thinking about this earlier, like about dick size.
Mm.
Yeah, let's go there. Because it needs to be talked about.
It needs to be talked about. It does. It needs to, this is a conversation because I'm sorry. I don't need nothing, no 12, 13, 14 inches coming nowhere near me. Again, have you taken a ruler and seen how long? Oh, hell no. I'm good, bro. I am fine. I like having my uterus and my ovarian tubes right where they supposed to be, not shifted to the side. I, I like my parts where they supposed to be.
All right.
And I don't understand because that's painful. Me as a woman, I've been with men that's well endowed, okay, and it was very painful. It was not an experience that I wanted. I'm like, no, this is not going to happen again, darling. No, no, no. And but the men that's quote unquote average size, bring it on. What's crack a lack? I cannot deal with it was just it was too much. Like, sir, you need to be on a porn site somewhere, sir. This is too much. A corn site, excuse me. You need to be over there somewhere. It's too much, sir. Too much. I can't deal with it. No, 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 no.
So, like, as far as me personally, and I'm going to be 100% honest, I've measured my dick before, and at my hardest, I'm about 7.5.
Oh,
So
that's not bad.
yeah, and I've watched plenty of corn in my life, and then I've done comparisons to my penis to the porn stars, and I would say that I'm on like. Have you ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Brian Pumper or B Pumper?
No.
Okay.
I don't know the names, you know. I've been at the sites, you know, in the past, but I don't know names, you know, because I'm trying to understand what's going on in society, in the world, because I don't know. I don't know names
Okay.
of
Okay.
stars like that.
Like Brian Pumper, he's like, he got it's not long, but it's pretty thick, you know.
Earthy.
Yeah, like I have a girthy dick. It's not.
He telling us all the juice, y'all.
It's not like it's not like fucking like this or anything like that. But I got a nice thick penis, you know. But also, I understand I'm not that long. Like I'm only 7.5, you know. So it's like some women they're like, damn, this is like real good. But some women is like, well, maybe if he was just a couple of inches longer, it'll be great, you know. But it is what it is. Like everybody, like pussy sizes are different,
I would just would
you
say,
know.
well, you know, when we have children, you know, quote unquote, they give that husband stitch. What is called the husband stitch, where they get that stitch you up a little. It's not true. It doesn't work. I can tell you it's not real. It's a fictional thing, okay? I've had 4 children fall out of me, okay, people? 4, okay? It's not a real thing. But it does go back to size. But again, vaginal length also depends on the woman. You know, our parts are different sizes too. You know, you have them stars that you see on the little sites that like, oh my god, ma'am, it's gonna come out of her throat. He's skewing her, he's maiming her. Why isn't one stopping this? No one's gonna stop this. Oh my god. I'm watching this. I can't watch anymore. Did she live? Just tell me the lady lived. She lived? Okay, thank you. She lived. Praise God. She's sitting over there, Lord, thank you. So again, you know, some women have the anatomy that is good for a 10 to 12 inch man because they got a 10 to 12 inch anatomy down there that can
Right, like I've I've ran into a few women, and not to get too graphic, because I don't
you
want
already got graphic enough. Hell,
like,
shit.
like because like I don't want to go into too many details in my sex life, but I've ran into some women where it was like I got in there and I was like, where is the end?
Again,
and I thought like in the first time it happened to me, I thought it was me. I was like, am I little? Do I have a
no,
little penis?
no,
But
we
then
all have different body sizes and body
right.
shapes.
And then on top of that, like when I wear my pants and things like that, like sometimes it doesn't show, like when I'm like, just
Well,
regular and like not hard or anything, like you can't see the print, and like some days you can see the print, but then some days I get shriveled up to the point where it look like an hors d'oeuvre, you know.
Well, we do know it has girth. He's told us
Right.
this one has girth, ladies. Got girth. Girthy McGirth over here. So
But when it's soft, it can shrivel up to the size
well,
of a cocktail weenie.
that
But
ain't that all men? Like that's
no,
all men, ain't it?
no, no. Some men, it's like when they limp, it's like a hand being limp. Like
I ain't never saw that. I ain't never saw that a day in my life.
not not that I was looking, not that I was looking, but I've like I was on the football team in
Right,
high school, and I was in the Navy, and I went through
right,
boot camp. So
right.
sometimes you see things, and you be
Yeah.
like, "Damn," like this nigga is packing. You know, not that I'm trying to look, but
In
it's like,
comparison, like,
yeah,
why ain't I got one like that?
right, exactly. So, whew, yeah, I'm
I,
letting. I told you this was gonna be
yeah,
deep. I was
he told me he was
literally.
going he was going he told me he was gonna let it all hang out. I was not prepared on how much he was gonna let hang. He told me a little bit. He gave me the tip. He gave me the tip earlier. That he just
I
didn't.
told her I was gonna give her more than a tip later on.
I see, I'm getting more and more surprises, y'all. More and more. I already got my pajamas on, y'all. Y'all don't know. I already got my pajamas on. I am on the way. All I gotta do is hop in the car.
Okay, now
I'll be home for Christmas.
now I have been with women where I wasn't attracted to them, and it was hard for me to get my dick hard.
Well, because you weren't attracted. Again,
Yeah,
physical attraction plays a part, in our sexuality and how we're um attracted to one another. If you're not attracted to a woman, unless you're just a sex dog or something like that, just gotta have it. Some men is going to be flaccid. They're not going to get up if a woman is not. You see, I'm trying to use my proper terminology.
hey,
I don't know.
flaccid is even funnier. Yeah,
Right, and I'm like, why is proper
flaccid.
terminology coming out right now? Like,
This
or
this
some
penis
men,
was flaccid.
or some men, for real, or some men, they get too drunk, it won't get up.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
You know what? In the Navy, that was called whiskey dick. Like you had
yeah,
whiskey dick. Hold on, you had two types of
it's
whiskey
too
dick.
tight. It's too tight.
Whiskey dick alpha, which is the one that you want. Whiskey dick alpha is when it's just stay up and you can't, even if you bust a nut, it won't go down. But then you had Bravo. You never wanted Bravo. And I've had Bravo a couple of times.
We always want alpha. We don't never.
Yeah,
We're not talking about alpha beta. We talking about alpha bravo. And that's when you're drinking.
right. So it's always a risk when you drinking that you could have either alpha or Bravo, and it's also and attraction can play a part in that. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's all about what's going on in here, and if you drinking, if it's making you think about other things that you try not to think about, then it
and
could turn you off.
I also think sometimes again, it's not only the physical attraction, it could be the mental attraction. It could be a smell, like you say,
Right.
like I'm one of those women that are attracted to smells. Like if you smell good, I will wrap my whole body around you and not let go of you just because you smell good. Like, oh my God, I must be inside of your body. Make your skin my skin, because you smell good. I'm one of them women that are attracted to smell, intelligence, yeah, you gotta look good, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be attractive to me. But again, that's comes along with that chemistry you have with a person. You know what I'm saying? That chemistry.
Right.
So again, it depends on the dynamic of the duo at hand,
Right.
that chemistry aspect.
And unfortunately, I've hurt a lot of women's feelings that fit into the category of not being attractive to me. You
Okay.
and it wasn't that I was trying to hurt their feelings, but it's like I can't do anything with you. My dick ain't gonna get hard for you, And if I'm and it's hard for me to just be honest with them and say it like that, because if I'm honest with them and say it like that, they're going to be
Could
even,
take it the wrong way.
yeah, they're going to
Like,
be
what you trying
more,
to say? I ain't good enough. What you trying to say?
yeah.
I don't do it.
And
Yeah.
but it's like this: if a woman ain't feeling a man and her pussy doesn't tingle for him, we have to be understanding of that, and we have to say, hey, you know, my her pussy doesn't tingle for me. It doesn't matter. I went on all these dates on her, spent all this money on her, trying to charm her. It doesn't matter because she ain't feeling me.
Nope.
And then you have women that will go out with men that they know that they're not attracted to, and they had this man doing all these things for them, buying them
And knowing they don't
flowers.
want them.
Yeah, and it's like I heard a woman say that even though the man was doing everything the way that he was supposed to do and he was doing it correctly, that it made her even more grossed out by him
Why?
because she wasn't attracted to him. And it was like him jumping through those hoops made him seem even more pathetic to her.
But it's because he liked her. And
Right. But she didn't like
so
him. So it didn't matter what he did. She was like her attraction was already non-existent, but it got even worse and worse as the night went on because she see this man trying to impress her that she's never going to be impressed by. And so it made her even have more disdain for him for even thinking that he had a chance with her. And
man, that's not nice. That's wrong. Like,
right. I mean,
that's wrong.
but it's reality.
Yeah.
I had to get out of my feelings because there were times when I liked the woman really bad, but she
Hmm.
didn't find me attractive. And no matter what and it was times where I helped the woman move, and it took 10 hours to help her move. And this was after I had my disability.
Oh my God.
I helped
So
her
you just
move.
tearing your back apart.
Right. Helped her move. Spending like one woman, was spending hundreds of dollars on dates with her. You know,
Mm-mm.
one woman I was, trying to do everything to impress her, like, writing songs about her and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah, you say,
that's so
oh,
cute. That's so
but no, but she
cute.
didn't care.
Damn.
She didn't care.
Oh, that's so
No, no,
cute.
she didn't care. Oh
The way
my
you
God.
said she didn't care.
Yeah, she didn't
She didn't
care.
care.
Oh.
Oh,
Or I
she
get in a
didn't
relationship with somebody that didn't like me, help her with her children, and she'd look at me even worse because I'm helping with the children. Because she didn't care. She didn't like me. She was looking at me like, I'm gonna put you through all this stuff, and either you deal with it and I'm gonna be mad with you, or you're not gonna deal with it and I'm gonna be mad with you. But regardless of how you feel about it, I'm gonna be mad with you because I had to lower myself to deal with you.
Well, damn.
Yeah. This is
Well,
like
damn.
now you understand this is what men and women have to deal with in
Yeah.
the world, because I've seen it happen on the opposite end where women
Yeah.
were buying the man all this stuff and he was dressing all nice and she was making
Yep.
sure he was hooked up, but he out
Mhm.
there cheating, flirting, and he's
Yep.
stealing money from her.
Yep.
And
Buying her
it's
gifts with her own money.
right. And it's like this. And it's like these women don't be bad looking. Some of them
No.
be attractive, but
Mhm.
they want a certain type of man that really don't want them. So they get taken advantage of. And then they look at all men as being like that when it's not like that. Just
Nope.
like all women ain't like that I just described. However, it's based off of your attraction. And you have to ask yourself, why are you attracting these type of people to you? You know, and it's a hard thing to really deal with, and sometimes it's things that's out of your control as to why you're attracting these certain type of people to you, which means
Yeah.
that you have to get out of the environment that you're in and explore and see what it is that you can attract. That's it probably won't be 100% what you want, but somewhat what you want,
Get out that comfort zone.
right. and
Yeah.
and understanding that some people are not going to be happy that you're getting out of that comfort zone, they're going to be looking at you like, oh, you're cheating the game, or you're not, or you don't have no game. So that's the reason why you're trying to escape this and do this way. And I've heard that when when I started using my passport and going overseas and dating women overseas, is that, oh, you're cheating the game because you're supposed to compete with for the women that you want with the men that they want, you know. And it's like, if they don't want me and they already chose the men that they want, I'm going to come out on the losing end regardless. So I have to figure out a way for me to win, because I want to be a winner. I don't want to be a loser all my life. You
Right.
know what I'm
Who
saying?
wants to be a loser all their life?
Right. And if I'm with a woman that I'm not attracted to, and I have to deal with that every day, subliminally, even if I don't admit it out of my mouth, I am going to feel like a loser.
You're going to have some type of regression towards her, some anger about the whole relationship because it's not who you want.
Right. And women feel the same way when they're with a man that they don't want. They like, damn, I got to be with this guy, and I could be with somebody that look way better than him and got more going on for himself, got more riz and all this other type of stuff. So, like, it's hard, it's difficult, in any way that you look at it. And then I had to understand that if you're not accepted by society, no matter what it is, no matter what choice that you make, whether you allow yourself to be in that loser position to yourself, or whether you allow yourself to travel and go abroad and experiment, uh, it's not going to look favorable to outsiders anyway, because they don't really appreciate who you are as a person regardless. So you have to learn how to be comfortable within yourself, which is why I'm able to express my honest opinion in the most respectful way that I can to talk about this subject. And I know that
Absolutely.
I know that there's going to be some people that's pissed off that I said some of the things that I said. But I don't care, because I'm coming from the heart.
And
Like
these
this,
are your feelings. This is what you've
yeah,
experienced, and these are your feelings.
yeah, like I'm being sensitive right now. Like, this is my sensitive side that I'm putting out here.
He's showing his heart.
Right.
He's giving us
And in
his
my
heart.
heart, I can't lie to you and say that I want to be with you, and it looked like you've been going to the buffet every day.
Well, because that's not what you're attracted to.
Right. It's
Because
some
again, it's a lot of men out there. Like, I have been told by some men, you too little.
right.
I'm too little. You too little. What you mean I'm too little? You too tiny. You too little. You need to get some weight on you. Sir, if I get any more weight on me, I'm be pre-diabetic. What the hell is you talking about, sir? I'm losing weight because I want to live. What are you talking about, sir?
Right. But that's what, we have to understand that everybody is different, and we can't put our personal expectations on other people. And even if you and yourself, you have a low opinion of that person as far as their personal appearance. Like, if I see somebody that's 350 pounds, a woman that's 350 pounds, right, I might say, oh, she should just settle with some short bummy looking dude. But in her mind, she's like, no, I want somebody that's rich, successful, like Shaquille O'Neal. And she has the right to have that opinion about herself, because she has the right to value herself in any way that she sees fit. It's like,
Absolutely.
if it's a man that's homeless on the street, that's going from shelter to shelter, and he say, hey, I'm looking for a woman that look like Maya, you know, that's what he desires. You know what I'm saying? And nobody has the right to tell him that, oh, he's shooting out of his league. And another thing that I wanted to talk about was, like, you have some women that say that most men want a woman with a BBL body.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, that is totally false, because most men do not want a woman with a BBL. They want women who don't need BBLs, that have that type of body.
I'm telling you, some of these BBLs out here be looking like some wisdom teeth in this bitch. I ain't gonna lie. I went to the store. Me and my daughter, we went to the store. I ain't gonna lie. I saw two women. We could tell they had BBWs, BBLs, whatever it is, and BBLs. You could tell, and because they look like damn wisdom teeth. And she looked, and then the man called her. He was like, "Caught you looking." I'm like, "Oh hell no!" So again, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Come on, get in the car." But I saw him. I'm like, "You're putting again with these BBLs. You're doing physical harm to your body." Now again, these are some young girls. Right. Now by the time y'all get my age, how many more BBLs will you have to have? Don't forget, you're probably going to have kids. You're going to balloon out. Mm-hmm. All that surgery is going to go to waste. And then you're going to be, and we live in a time and age now where women want to get on the table to get these quick bodies, quick, right here, right now. And they are losing their lives to it.
Right.
Yeah, so I take my little fupa and my little butt and my little breast and I keep on going with it.
Right. And then you have men on the other side of the spectrum. Like we talked about Kanye West, that used to get liposuction.
Yeah.
You have men that are getting their bodies done as well. And also taking steroids or HGH, which is very harmful to the body. Mm-hmm. And it's like we have a society where we want to keep up with other people and compete with other people, that we suffer from a type of body dysmorphia.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like I told you about the things that I feel insecure about as far as my body.
Yeah. Mine's, I have a lot of insecurities again. I have a gnarly scar across my neck. I'm now in the past years letting it come out more because I would get looks like, "Oh, what happened to your neck? Were you in a bar fight?" No, I was in an accident 14 years ago, and 13 years ago I had to have surgery on my neck. So you kind of get tired of explaining, especially something as prominent as the scar. Y'all can probably see the shadow of it here. This is the whole scar from like here to here. This is the whole scar. So it takes up a nice little portion. But people see it and be like, "Oh my God, what happened?" I'm fine. I can do anything else anybody else can do. I just have to make sure I do it to my physical limitations. I can do anything else anybody else can do. Right. But again, I have my insecurities about my color. Like you say, the light skin for you, for me, it's the dark skin. Because again, I have had issues with women of my own race saying things about my color. Men of my own race saying, "Oh, you're too dark." Oh, I'm too dark. But your mama darker than me though, bro. Like, it's situations like that colorism thing that has affected me. So that kind of put me in a shell for a while, but then that just put me in a shell far as dating. It never put me in a shell far as my career in any department I was in. It never put me in a shell like that. It just mainly focused on my my insecurity, because I was told I was so dark, but now I embrace it now. It's like, yeah, I'm dark. Now what? Black and the berry, sweet of the juice. Now what? What you need? And keep on going with it. But it took years for me to get to that status to say, I don't give a damn about what anyone cares. I don't care. So it took me a long time to get to that I don't care about what you think about my complexion, how dark I am, how I like to wear makeup. Again, I like to wear makeup. It's a misconception that, "Oh, you're hiding your face." No, I just like to play in makeup. Do you not see how these colors look on my eyes? I love it. So again, I just like to be in makeup, "Oh, you're hiding your freckles." No, Even without the makeup, you can barely see my freckles, but it's a part of who I am. I just like being in makeup. It
Right,
is what it is. And
right.
I've heard men say, "Oh, well, if you didn't wear makeup caked on your face," I don't wear makeup caked on my face. No, it kind of looks a lot of times more natural. I just have more volume of color with my eyes. That's it. Oh well, we like our women not to wear makeup and this, that, and third. But I see you chase women that has had plastic surgery and have nothing but makeup all over their face. But then you tell me and other women like me, oh, you're trying to emulate somebody else by wearing makeup. You're trying to hide your features by hide. I don't think I can hide any features much more than me going outside without wearing a mask. What features am I hiding? What? Like, here it is, face right here. Like, what can I hide?
And honestly, like a lot of men that talk about they want their woman natural, they thinking about women that look more like, and this is just a comparison. They thinking about
Alicia
women that look
Keys?
more like Alicia Keys than somebody that look like Esther Rolle. You know, and not saying that Esther Rolle is ugly or anything like that, but
No, but men also have to understand. Look, years ago, my family had a party. I think I told you about this. My family had a party, and my auntie, I mean, not my auntie, my cousin, she's older. I have older cousins. And
mm,
she was talking to my mom, and my cousin was drunk. And she walked over to my mom. She said, Auntie, without wigs and makeup, there'd be a whole lot of ugly bitches out here. And then she was just drunk and walked on back off, and my mama couldn't do nothing but laugh. Like, what? Like, but she was telling the truth. Was she telling the truth? Yes or no? I don't know.
well, I was gonna say this. It kind
Because
of remind
beauty
me
is in the
of,
eye of the beholder.
yeah, it remind me of the color purple. All right, like Whoopi Goldberg's character. What was
Yes.
her name? Miss Silly.
Miss Seeley.
And then you had Suge Avery.
Suge Avery, yeah.
Now, if you look at both of them close, they were not too much they were not too much dissimilar as
No,
far
they
as
weren't far off from each other.
yeah,
It's just the way that she was jazzed up and dressed.
yeah. But it was like it's all about perception, you know. Like Mister had a woman just as good as Suge Avery with him by the name of Miss Silly, but he didn't recognize her beauty because when he got her, she was mistreated and abused, and she had low self-esteem about herself. So that's the way that he perceived her as being. However, Suge Avery was the woman that he always wanted, even though she had all these different flaws that she kept covered by her personality, her her charisma that she had, the way that she carried herself. She was able to overcome those physical flaws that she had, the same ones that Whoopi Goldberg's character had. Is that she was able to cover it a little bit more with the way that she carried herself and the way that she was as a woman, you know.
And let's not forget Suge Avery. She was a singer. She was on the road, She grew up in the church, and there's a whole little separate thing with Suge, you think about Miss Seeley. If you think about the story of The Color Purple, she had two children by her stepfather. They weren't even her real daddy, and her kids were sent off to Africa. And again, it was so much with her situation, that made her self-esteem go down. She wasn't able to read. Nettie could read.
Right,
Nettie could write. Don't forget when Mister went to the farm, he was going to marry Nettie.
right,
He didn't want Miss Seeley. He wanted Nettie.
right,
And he told him, no, you're gonna have to marry her first. She got to go first before Nettie.
right,
So again, it just showed the difference of the way they grew up. They had a whole different growing up. Suge Avery was very glamorous, again, very high maintenance woman, you know.
Right.
And Whoopi didn't get that high maintenance until she got older, when she was wearing furs, when she got the house
Right.
that her real daddy had left to her.
Right. And you know, and and Suge Avery's character is like, I would say that somebody that remind me of her, like as far as the entertainment industry, is somebody like a Sukiana
Okay.
or Sexy Red. Do you know who those
I
are?
know who I know. I definitely know Booty Hole Brown. I
Yeah.
know exactly who that is.
I would say Suge Avery's character remind me of Sexy Red or Sukiana because of, you know, like if you strip away, the wigs and the makeup and the clothes, and you just had them as, like how we are regular out here on the streets, like they would be like, I don't want to diss them because I think they're both talented, but they would be like average hood rats, you know. But since they have all the money and the ways to get the makeup, and they know how to, like, Sukiana, she had got a BBL and things like that, and she had liposuction, and they are able to make themselves appear way more attractive than what they could make themselves appear if they didn't have, you know, that backing behind them. If you
Right. I was
understand.
just gonna say, well, they have the industry to back them,
Yeah.
to make them look good. Because let's be real, if it was some 20 years ago, they would be banned from playing. I'm not even I'm gonna go back more than that. If it was 25 years ago, they would be banned from playing their music.
Right. I totally agree with you
They
on.
would be banned from playing it because it would be seen as not good for society. You know, the
Right.
FCC would be like, you know how Eminem used to say, the FCC can't step into, however he used to do it. You know his rap. The
Yeah.
FCC won't let me be me, so let me see. You know, so they had censorship because don't forget, you couldn't buy like certain Eminem CDs and stuff. It had explicit material on it. You had to be 16 or older to buy this, and then
Right.
some 18 and older to buy it.
Right.
So again, I think, and we have to think about Suge Avery. We going back to the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, 1960s.
I'll say
It,
1920s.
yeah, we going back that far. We going all the way back 20s to 30s, because she got that shop around the 40s. But you going all the way back to that time again. If you just go 25 years ago, they wouldn't have been played on TV nor the radio, because you have to remember, Baby Got Back Got was banned. Put them on
Right.
the glass was banned. And these women were covered, but they just had the little gold shirts and, put them on the glass. And Baby Got Back. They just started letting you hear Anaconda when they remixed it with Nicki Minaj.
Right.
Don't forget, Anaconda was another one that was Sir Mix-a-Lot whole CD. His whole CD was totally gone. It was banned because of its explicit lyrics and explicit gyration that was going on in it.
Right.
So I'm sorry, I can't see. No.
Well, I'm just talking about for that time period of what was allowable at that time.
Yeah, because she was more salacious. She showed her. Okay, I can see where you coming from. She's more the shock jock, standout crowd, because she wore the little dresses that tore down, and she sung at not reputable places like
Yeah.
bars
Just,
and places
yeah.
like that. So
And, and
okay.
and she, the shimmy is like
Yeah.
prehistoric version of twerking. Right.
Yeah.
So it all, like, and then you had Ben there who's looking at Suge Avery, who was on the same attraction level is a Miss Silly, and they telling her that they would drink her bath water.
Yep, they would drink her bath. Well, baby, I'll drink your bath water. No, shut up,
So,
fool.
so it's like, attraction is also a perception as well.
Yes.
See, because Miss Silly was just as good looking as Suge Avery, but nobody looked at her the same way, and it was because of the way that they
He was
perceived.
treated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we also have to look at that too, and we also have to ask ourselves, what is it about our personalities that we can change in order to change the perception outside? And I learned that I needed to focus more on me than
Mm-hmm.
on getting the approval of others.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not doing it so I can get the approval of others. It's so I can be more comfortable within myself. And then once I'm more comfortable within myself, I can potentially attract the woman that I'm supposed to be with.
Absolutely. I agree.
Not saying that it's a guarantee that I'm going to find that, but the more I work on myself, the more that I become the best version of myself, the higher the possibility and the probability of that happening will occur.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with that because I'm pretty much on that same voyage where love myself more, and once people see how much you love yourself, they're willing to pour in that much love into you and that much more respect into you. If they see that you respect yourself in a certain way, they're not going to disrespect you because you don't disrespect your own self in that way.
Right. And I had to learn, like, there was times where I would disrespect myself just so I can get that love and that approval that I was
From
searching
others.
for. Yeah. And it's like, that doesn't work.
No,
You
because
know,
you're left in the end feeling like crap
right.
because you're not happy.
Right. It's like this. You can't disrespect yourself and expect others to respect you.
Absolutely.
It's not going to work. Even if you think that you're doing this stuff so they can appreciate you, they're never going to appreciate you because you are allowing yourself to be treated badly by them.
Yeah, you're right. Again, like we talked before,
You
people
know,
will do what you allow them to do to you.
right.
It's just that simple.
They're going to treat you like a horse, and they're going to be on your back, and they're going to have a carrot in front of you, dangling it in front of you, and how you steady chasing that carrot, knowing
Knowing
that
you'll never get it.
you'll never get it.
Yep.
And that's how a lot of people in society manipulate and control others through doing
Yes.
things like that. It took me a long time for me to see that and how I was being manipulated and controlled and how I had to
Yes.
break free of that. And it
Mm-hmm.
was painful. Like I said, it was
Yeah.
painful
It
because
hurt.
some of those people I actually liked and cared for and thought was cool. And I wanted to be around them because they had that charisma and they knew what to say to me to make me feel good about myself, even though it was temporary. But in reality, it's not about what a person say, it's about how their actions towards you.
Right.
And like I spent, and this is being honest, like there was times where I had to cry to myself,
Yeah.
from,
Absolutely.
realizing that, like, and I was hurt, and I had to take accountability because I had to blame myself for that, and that was hard. It
Yeah.
was it was real difficult, and I remember when I 2000 when I was going through my physical rehabilitation, and July 6th of that year, the doctor, he was able to pop this part in my spine that it was real hard for them to pop earlier because it was
Mm.
so much out of alignment, but it needed to be popped because the nerves were going to
Was
my
smashed
groin.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the nerves were like affecting my groin area.
Mm-hmm.
So in that part of my spine needed to be popped to bring relief so I wouldn't be so much in pain in my groin area.
Right.
And when he popped it, it hurt. That night I was in so much pain, and I had to think about everything that I'm telling you about and all the bad
Mm.
decisions that I made. And I had to cry myself to sleep that night. And I was
No.
by myself dealing with that. And
Mm-hmm.
it, like I learned a lot about myself during that time, and I learned that I didn't value myself the way that I needed to value myself. And I was depending on other people to
Others.
value me. And
Yep.
that was the biggest mistake that I made in my life.
Yep.
Um, like I said, like and then it kind of helped me with understanding that I needed to work on my boundaries and I needed to work on respecting other people's boundaries. And I had to take accountability and just, whenever I made a mistake, I would admit that I made a mistake, not beat up on myself too much, but do my best not to make the same mistake later. And sometimes that's hard to do, especially if you grew up and nobody really gave you that grace from when you made a mistake. They just kept beating you down with whatever it is that you did wrong, just so you can do what it is that they wanted you to do in the future. And I had to deal with that a lot.
Hmm.
And it affected the way that I saw myself. It affected the way that, you know, I interacted with other people. Like I used to try to force myself into circles that I didn't belong into because of that. I tried to, become somebody that I wasn't because of that. Like I thought I was gonna be a rapper at one point,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's ridiculous. It's like, yes, I can do music and all that, but it's no guarantee I ever be famous if I do that. So if I do it, I might as well do it because I love it, not because I'm looking for a lot of money. But at the
Right.
same time, I was thinking that maybe if I become famous and I have a lot of money, people gonna give me the respect that I'm looking for, and I get that love and care. But then I start seeing celebrities and what they have to go through.
They ban that respect. They ban that
Yeah,
love. It's
exactly.
not given freely because you're buying it.
Right. And so I'm looking at that, and then I'm looking at like some of the backdoor deals that some of them do to get to that point. And it's speculation on what happens behind closed doors with that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna get into that too much. But
Right.
yeah, it's more of people lacking self-esteem within themselves to know that regardless of whether they have a lot of money or they don't have a lot of money, that they're still valuable as a person.
Absolutely. And I think that's what society has taken away, that people don't believe that they're valuable anymore. They don't
Right.
believe that they are true value, that they have true value.
Right. And one person might not find you attractive, but guess what? There's probably five or six other people that find you attractive. And if you're
Absolutely.
if you're in an area where you don't find anybody that find you attractive, you
Venture
need
out.
to you need to venture out.
Venture
There's
out.
nothing wrong with that.
No.
You have people that criticize other people for venturing out, but it's like they know that if these people that are considered beneath them venture out, then they're not going to have the type of social hierarchy that they want, because they want people at the bottom that be the clean up people that clean up or block them from the people that they don't want to be involved with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And it's a harsh reality. And like I said, I've had to deal with it. And like I have to deal with the sausages on the back of my neck. you know. And but it's like it's me, you know.
And it's a part of you that a woman gonna be rubbing them little sausages, be like, how did I live without these sausages? How did I live without them? Let me kiss them. I got some rolls you can put that sausage in. Come here. Like, so so don't even worry about it. Like,
Right.
it's this is a crazy world we live in, crazy society, and things is just weird, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's
And
weird.
and since society and the world is weird, we're going to be a little bit weird too, along with,
Yeah.
because we are directly affected by what's going on in society. And so
And
when
it's a
somebody
difference.
yeah. So when somebody calls me weird, I don't, it's like I used to feel bad when I would be called weird, but then I'm like, look at the environment that I'm in. Of
This
course,
whole
it'll be
fucking
weird.
environment is weird. Look at
Yeah,
what used to be right is now wrong, and what's wrong is now right. It's like everything is topsy-turvy in the environment that we live in, and you calling me weird? Shit. Okay. Well, I'll take my little weird ass on over here and sit in the corner by my weird ass self and go on about my weird ass business and you know
right.
keep on going. But
Mhm.
everyone is different. There's only one Bob Bowman. There's only one Mayday Mayhaim. There's only one. There's not another one. And that's what makes us so unique. It's only one of us. It's just
Right.
one, and we can't be replaced. And so that's why we need to take more care of ourselves and have that grace for ourselves,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
agree.
and stop beating up on ourselves for, oh man, I didn't get this. Oh man, I didn't get, but this, they don't like me. Stop beating up on yourself. Obviously, they don't like you. These are type of people that's supposed to be for you.
Right.
Obviously, if that man doesn't call you back, obviously he wasn't interested in you anyway, because if he was, he would have been blowing that phone up. Everything else would have been going playing. Same way with a woman. If she's interested in you, you taking her out, having a good time, y'all both going to have that mutual chemistry, and it's not going to be a problem. It's no issues. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a time and place for everything. You know what I'm saying?
I
It,
get,
it, it's just time for everything.
and I get you, and we have to stop, trying to please others because we're already weird, and all we're going to do is make ourselves seem even more weird when we try to impress other people or please other people.
Absolutely, because we can only please ourselves and think about what we need to do.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with pleasing yourself. And sometimes you need to please yourself. Not all the time, but
Your
every once
hands might be
in a
looking
while,
funny. I don't know.
you you please yourself with buying shoes or something. I'm not
Buying
being
some shoes,
nasty, even
yeah.
though it can be taken.
Please yourself with buying you some
Yeah,
shoes.
or watching some porn. Who knows?
See, no, so we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
All right, man. This was a like, oh my god, I feel so much better. Like,
I'm happy. Yay.
like I'm not trying to use you as therapy, but
No,
being
no,
able to talk
use
about
me.
this stuff,
Use me.
but
Yes,
but
please. It's okay.
talking about this stuff, being honest and open, and
Mhm.
having your perspective along with it. It's like, man, if people was more honest like this, like, yeah, people's feelings would get hurt, but it's like, man, after a while, you just want to live in truth, and not
You
a lie.
want to live, you want to live in truth, live in happiness, and live in peace, and live and not have to deal with bullshit. Not
Right,
have to deal with bullshit. Be brutally, bluntly honest, but not to be honest to hurt no one's feelings. I'm just trying to tell and show how I'm feeling during this moment, during this time, because your feelings are just as valid as the next person's.
right. And I've seen people that have gone along to get along.
And it
They,
doesn't work.
yeah, they and you could tell that they going along to get along.
Yep. And I hate that. That's a pet peeve. Do not go along to get along, because it's going to end up being a problem later, because that's you faking the funk. That's me. That's you saying that you like something that you actually do not like, because you're just going along just to get along. So you won't ruffle no feathers. No, ruffle feathers so that in the future this will not be a problem. Because
Unfortunately,
again, you're
unfortunately, this world is full of a lot of followers.
yeah. Because if you're going to be in a relationship with a person, you're going to get into arguments. Y'all are not going to agree about everything. And it's going to come to that crossword where, look, we got to talk this shit out. We may have to have an argument. We may not talk to each other for a couple of days. I'm mad at you and you mad at me. We might need to take a few days to just breathe. That don't mean you sleep with somebody else, I sleep with somebody else, because see, again, that's society. Oh, we were broke up. You were only broke up a week and you were sleeping with somebody else that quick. It was only a week. I usually give it at least 30 days. I'm for real. When me and a person are dismissed from a relationship, I'm gonna wait 30 days. If you don't contact me within those 30 days, or we don't have a conversation within those 30 days, oh yeah, day 31, yeah, you might as well go on, do what you want to do, because it's a wrap. I don't want to talk now.
Well, you got some people that do arguments and break up with people on purpose so they can go out there.
Exactly. And see,
Instead of just
I
being
can't do
honest, just being like, hey,
that. I
this
don't
is
want to do this.
I don't want to be with you anymore. I want to fuck other people. Let me
Yes.
fuck other people.
Yes. And instead of you being open and honest and saying, look, this ain't working. Yeah, I'm not feeling this. Like, we ain't compatible for each other. Like, but again, 9 times out of 10 in those situations, someone is using someone.
Right.
Someone's used someone for a place to stay. Someone's used someone for monetary gain. Someone's used someone for food or any other substance that they can get their hands on, or whether they're just using them just for compliments or conversation. Right. You are using this person to a fault of your own. You know what I'm saying? And it's still, again, like I say, I give it 30 days. If I don't hear from you, we don't have a conversation within these 30 days, just going on. Don't just going on. And it ain't gonna be no, we break up today, we back together tomorrow, we break up Tuesday, we back together. Oh, hell no. I'm not for the seesaw. I ain't for the seesaw, bruh. We either in or we out. The first motherfucker that jump out this boat is gonna drown. It ain't gonna be me. You finna jump? You finna jump? Jump in. I help you walk the plank. I will help your ass walk the plank. Walk. No, I'm not playing. No, I'm not for the seesaw. And again, because I've got to that age to where I'm not, look. If I want to play a game, like my mama used to say, if you want a toy, go to Toys R Us. You want to play a game, I'll go to Target and buy me a game I want to play. I got plenty of Nintendo Switches and DSs and all that shit. If I want to play a game, I'll play a game. I don't want to play a game. This is not badminton. This is not tennis. This ain't volleyball where we going back and forth with that shit. No, this ain't what that is. No. You either in or you out. And we ain't gonna keep having the same argument over and over again over the same thing. So you could dip out and be with your little chick, or you could dip out and be with your little man, or whoever y'all with, just to have the same argument over and over. Like you said, you have arguments just so you can leave the house.
Right.
The argument over and over again. Didn't we stomp this argument out like 2 days ago? Well, I'm still mad because you. Oh, your ass wants to hit the streets, huh, bro? You trying to hit the streets? Bet cash money. Go ahead on. Go on. They lock the door. Don't bring thine ass back and keep on going.
Yeah.
So it depends. But this is, yes, use me. I would like everyone to use this as a therapy session, or just a kick back and talk and get it out session for the beginning of the week, because we're going into a new week, because next week is December 31st. That's the end of the year. It's the end of the year. It's a wrap. And that's also my birthday.
Yeah, like this feeling that I had inside, like, it's one of the reasons why I made my channel.
Yes, absolutely.
And I've been expressing what everything that I said on this, I've been expressing in bits and pieces, but I haven't said it in the way that I'm saying it now.
And I'm glad.
Yeah, and I'm at a point to where I don't care if I get backlash for it, because I have to be myself eventually. Like, this stuff that's in me is going to come out eventually. I'd rather it come out in a healthy way
than in an irrational and unhealthy way.
Right.
And again, this has always been a safe place. And me and you have had our little bickerments and arguments, and we come right back, but it's nothing huge. It's like, this ain't nothing for me not to stop talking to him for. Like, it ain't that big. Like, did he hit me? Did he threaten to hit me? Well, I don't see what the problem is. Like he ain't disrespect me. We having a conversation. Of course, we're gonna have difference of opinion. We two different damn people. He's a man, I'm a woman. We're gonna have different thoughts and dialects on what's going on. So of course it's going to be a difference. But again, that's where we need to have these conversations where we don't agree, but we can still agree to be on common ground.
Right.
You don't have to agree to, and that's not to get along, to get along. No, I'm saying how I feel. You say how you feel, and it's still no love lost. Like it's still all good because again, you're going to have a lot of people that agree with you. You're going to have a lot of people that agree with you, and you might have a lot of people that don't. But again, it's to each person. This is your opinion on how you feel on things if you win your life. And I'm pretty sure it's a million people that have the same feeling just like you. And some people that want to have this discussion that don't want to talk about it or is too afraid to talk about it. Like, oh, I don't want to talk about dick size. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to. Again, these are sometimes things that are taboo, that things that people don't want to talk about. You know, and sometimes this also plays on the psyche of the how you feel. You know, right. Some men think a lot of men literally think that a lot of men's penis size is like 12, 13 inches long. No, no. Baby, they use the same ones for the corns. They just put masses over them and keep on going. And they be like, Mr. Deluge and the Drunken Pirates. You know, I don't know what they'll have, but don't be stealing my name out there. I trademarked. I came up with that name. Gotta make my money off that one. But still, you don't know that these men and women that are endowed and all this and third, they have been doing this for some years. And sometimes those movies, they only do like maybe 2 or 3 movies a year. It's not like they're doing this every day, all day. So again, a lot of people don't even know Sylvester Stallone started out as a corn star. He was the Italian stallion. So
well, I was gonna say that, you know, I've heard of some of those women that's in the industry. They have prolapses, if you know.
Yes,
and that's because they've overdone it. They have.
And if you don't know what a prolapse is, it's that's when your pocketbook has turned inside out. I'm saying the coochie has hit the ground. I'm saying they gotta stick it back up in there, like because it's prolapse because it's been overexerted due to actions of your own doing. If y'all get what I'm saying, you didn't tore that damn thing up.
Right, and then you had the men that even though they're well endowed, they can't get it up anymore, and it's just like this. And they
got that B. They got that B.
Yeah, and it's like a permanent B.
And some of them, they need pumps. They need the little ring to go around, the little cock rings and thing to keep them aroused and everything like that. And again, even corn is just a production. It's a fantasy. It's a movie. You know, like the moaning, the groaning, and all this. Again, look, some of them women, they look like they be screaming for a reason. Like, ma'am, what's wrong with you? I understand why it's prolapse, both sides. I get it. I get it. Have you heard of hemorrhoids, ma'am? And I always wonder, like, do they have their body parts like protected? No, I'm dead ass. I'm for real now. This is a serious question.
I'm sorry. This is like once you mentioned hemorrhoids, it was over with.
Like, dude, I'm serious. Because look, I done had 4 kids, and things happen when you have kids. Now I'm just letting y'all young mothers know, and when you get a certain age, you have children's. But I'm just saying, is they body parts protected? You know, like Tina Turner, had her legs, protected, insured. Do they have like their coochies and everything insured just in case it fall out? Like, that's a good question. Like,
yeah, that is a good question.
Like, is anything insured just in case something goes wrong during the movie? And like, Oh, I afraid my coochie hair right here. Oh, I afraid my Libya over there. Like, does something go? If something goes wrong, who's gonna pay for that? Because see, insurance in America ain't gonna pay for that shit. I can tell you now. So who gonna pay for that? I just want to know, because we ain't got free clinics no more. They used to have them that could pay for that. We ain't got those no more. So who's gonna pay for that? That's just a question. So I just want to do they have insurance? Is it insured? Like, is the man with the 24-inch long, is it insured? What if he slams it in the door or something? Like, I don't know. I don't have a male appendage. I don't know. It just be wanging around there. I don't know. What if he slammed that little arm in the door and it's gone? What happens? Will he lose his career? Will it be a permanent bin forever? How will he use it? That's the question. Like, what is?
You know what? Oh my God! It was one guy who did a scene where it actually got broke, and he had to go to the hospital.
Did they? Now, who gonna pay that bill? He broke his dick. Who pays his bill? You see what I'm saying? Is it on him? And what if to straighten out his dick cost maybe about $1 million and he can't pay it? So now it look like a lightning bolt. Like, what we gonna do about this? Like, you ain't getting no woman. Like, your stroke ain't gonna go like this. Like, sir, what if
some women probably like that?
I'm saying, like, what if it looked like this when it's over and done with? Like, what if it? I'm dead ass now. Okay. We on to something. You brought it up. You made my man.
Hey, you know, like that remind me of when Martin Lawrence talk about like the guy with the hook for a dick, and he have to fuck you like this, like.
What if it looked like that? Like, for real? No,
hey, he'll be able to hit different parts, like.
Stay away from my parts. I like all my parts. Be a fold up in there like a love accordion. Yeah. Boy, what you doing? I'm tearing you up. I don't feel nothing more. It's just a little accordion that's going in. You just think you tearing something up, ain't doing nothing. I'm just saying it has to be some medical guidelines. Do they have a nurse in the room? Oh shit, he broke his dick. Hold on, wait. Clap it together. Hold it to the side. Now walk slow. Like, how like, oh my God, her coochie is split. Hold on. Let me hold it. Let me pinch it till we get to the hospital. Like, what is y'all gonna do? Like, do y'all have somebody to hold something till y'all get to the hospital?
Yeah, like, and I've heard the stories of like
sex sent me to the ER.
Yeah, they go to the ER. Like, it was a woman that had her butthole split open.
Those are true stories.
Yeah.
That's why it's for exiting, not entering for me. I'm just saying, I need all my booty hole. Like sexy red, booty hole, brown, coochie. I would like to keep it, I'm assuming it's brown. I want to keep it that way. And I don't want it prolapsed. It's been serving me fine all these years. Let's keep it that way. Alpha. My bravo.
Right.
But I'm glad you enjoy these weekly conversations. Again, it's helpful to everyone to know that they're not the only ones thinking like this or having these thoughts or questions or insanity. Sometimes I may have, you know, it is what it is. It's insanity.
Right. Well, I'm pretty much done. I've said everything that I needed to say. And I'm like, woo, all this stuff is out.
Ooh, you know,
and you know, and I'm gonna post this on all my social media platforms, and people that know me and they hear this, they're gonna hear the honest truth, and they're gonna be like, damn, I didn't think that he actually would go there. But yes,
he went there.
This is me.
And that's, you know what, Bob, and that's all you can do is be yourself. Because if you're not yourself, then again, you being something that you're not, a poser, you being not true to yourself, and then it comes out later that this is not you, because then you get around people that see that fake you and like that fake you, and you don't feel the real you. So it's best for you to be the real you at all times.
right. And you know, and I've went through my phases. You know, like I said, like I used to be a minister at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I joined, you know, secret organizations, which I won't talk about.
Right.
Um, you know, I've experienced, you know, different things trying to be a rapper at one point in my life, like going through these different phases. But
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not embarrassed about it because I needed to go through that so
Absolutely.
I can finally wake up and say, "Hey, who am I? What's my character?" Like, yes, I believe in the Most High. I believe in God.
Right.
Am I minister material? Like, and I know the Bible real well because I've read it many, many times. But am I minister material? Because there's a certain image that I have to portray at all times, even when
Yeah.
I don't feel like it. Uh,
Yep.
there's a certain way I got to talk to people and treat people, whether or not
Even
I
when you
feel
don't
like
feel like it. Yep.
am I minister material? Do I have the charisma to pull it off? Am I willing to spend all my time and money and energy in doing this, even though I might not get any of that back? You know, and I had to ask myself these questions and see if it was worth it, if it's really me. And what I found out is what I am currently is the
It's really you.
closest that I've been to myself ever in my life.
And it feels good.
Yeah, and I'm able to say what it is that I want to say as long as I'm respectful of it. But then,
Absolutely.
and I understand that some people are going to be disrespectful to me, regardless of whether or not I'm being respectful. And I just have to leave those people where they're at.
Absolutely.
You know,
Because they're not on your
on my
path with
program,
you.
yeah,
No, they're not.
yeah.
So
And
no,
there's
I'm
nothing
just
wrong with that. You know, it's just that it's like that in life. You know,
right. It is what it is. It's life. Life be life. And as my sister would say, life be life. And I'm like, what?
but
So no, it
I'm still keeping up hope one day that I find a woman as fine as a Virginia Sandhouse or a Maya, somebody like that. But
it's all about me. Forget about you. Are you gonna get it, baby? Like Maya. Okay. Look, I ain't mad at you. I hope you find your Maya. I'm gonna look for Cisco. Cisco. I'm gonna look for my Cisco so he can be like that thong 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 thong. Go. And when he jump up in air, a dragon come out. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. But no, it's all good. We just have to take it day by day, step by step. And like you say, take those chances. You know, you just gotta take those chances and honestly see what happened. I know I will be taking way, way more chances coming up, and it's not going to take the 2024 to get here. I'm about to be taking chances starting today. Um, but again, we all have to take those chances and be genuinely ourselves. So we are showing people genuinely who we are.
yeah,
So if that's it for you, that's it for me for today.
all right.
Okay. So I'm going to end this podcast where I always end my podcast. If no one told you they love you, I do. I truly, truly do. And make sure you do better today than you did yesterday and strive for a better tomorrow today. I am Mayday Mayhaim.
This is just Bob Bowman. Check out my YouTube. I got a new live stream that I put up. I talk about Hulk Hogan and his impact in wrestling with my best friend, International Jay.
Yeah, I shared it. I shared it on my page. I shared it. I definitely shared it. So make sure y'all check it out. It's a great interview. They was talking wrestling, and I was like, ooh, so I was listening while I was in the midst of doing the rest of my cooking and preparations yesterday. I would like to also wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I will be on probably earlier or depending on the time. I'll probably be on earlier that day, 31st. I don't know. Probably my phone though. So thank y'all for tuning in. You can check this streaming on all streaming platforms from Facebook to Twitch to here at YouTube, and again, all streaming platforms. I am Mayday Mayhaim. Thank y'all. Have a great night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out Just Bob Bowman at Just Bob Bowman. And you can catch him on IG at Just Bob Bowman. And you can catch me on IG at Mayday_Mayhem. We out. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. I'm Mayday Mayhem.
Just Bob Bowman.
We out. Y'all hear my theme song. Stop playing. Y'all know y'all here.